Oh, thank you so much for joining us today. I should say that today it's a quite emotional day for me. I This is the first event that I step in the room and I see too many wonderful women. I'm the only one, or maximum 10-20% of the women in the, for example, any event, any conference. As you can see, my background is RF and microwave, and this is the field that we know that is the shortage of a skill in the UK, and not many of us in the UK, unfortunately. And we hope that we can build a kind of a great pathway for the future ladies that are coming in this area. So I should say thank you for everyone in the TechWorks to create this great event. Uh, to be honest, because I'm always so excited about the technology, I didn't prepare any slide about myself. And just now, since morning, when everyone talking about themselves, I said, "Oh my God, I forgot about myself." I just The first slide after this is the technical slide. So I stay on this slide. I'm going through a little bit about myself. I think, as I said, I'm always very excited about technology, and I might start before, like 8 years ago. I keep saying that I study telecommunication, PhD, I done this, but I think now everything is changed for me. I'm mom of two, and I have 8-year-old boy and a 15-year-old daughter, which is still very young. Uh, I did my PhD about, I think, 15 years ago, and in telecommunication. After my PhD, I've been working in the academia, and I thought that I'm going to stay in the academia until I retired. And suddenly, by a quite accident kind of things, I jump in the industry and I find out, oh my God, this is a very interesting situation for me, and I can learn a lot while still keep in touch with the university and I'm working with the university. Uh, so uh, Today, as I said, I'm so excited about what I'm going to talk about it. I'm at the moment I'm business development manager in EDRMEDESO, which is a simulation provider company. Uh, this is that I'm going to talk about it today. I can say somehow you are the first people seeing this slide and you are seeing this technology, and that's why I'm so excited about it. Um, I want to walk you through how AI and how this new technology can facilitate it and help the engineering to innovate, do innovation and design in RF and microwave field. What I want to say that anything that we are doing at the moment, and still I believe in future, is not going to replace any of the simulation tools. It's not going to replace any of the creativity and the smartness of the engineering and uh, uh, judgment of the engineering. The only things is going to help them and assist them to they be more creative, more doing their job better. Uh, the agenda that I'm going to talk about it, firstly, why RF simulation, why it's so important, and why has the lots of bottleneck, and why we need to introduce this automation or AI assistance for this kind of workflow. And I'm going to show you how, in the very natural way, we create a platform that talk with the simulation tool, and a short video demo, and then a summary of what I'm going to talk about. So why we think that RF system is become harder to design, to simulate. As we can see, the technology going really fast, and a frequency band and frequency is going to higher and higher. Before that, we're dealing with the radio frequency, and then millimeter wave, microwave, and now terahertz even. So this increase in the frequency, it give us less, it give us tighter tolerance and higher loss, and also all of these frequencies going up and up make the device more smaller, more complex, and the smaller device, more complex device, is going to have more coupling, more effect of each of the element on each other. And there's lots of demand, lots of need for the high speed. There's lots of need for the high speed PCB, high speed system, that all of them, it makes everything more difficult, and something like signal, power integrity, EMC, EMI issues come to the RF systems. And we are no longer just dealing with one physics. Last week I was talking in another event, and the room was full of mainly mechanical and structural engineers. And I was saying that a few years back, if I was talking in the room that are not electronic and high frequency engineer, probably we didn't have much things to like, common things to talk. But now there is lots of complexity in the system, which is bring lots of physics together. Now, when someone wants to design an RF system, need to know about the thermal simulation, need to know about the stress and vibration, need to know about other kind of physics as well. So all of this make us think that how we can help RF engineer. Plus, I haven't added here, but I'm sure Alex mentioned it today in the morning, that we are really in the shortage of the RF and microwave skills in the UK. And this is going to help us to save some of the time of current RF and microwave engineer, that hopefully they can be a mentor and teach other young generation RF and microwave. So this journey started from about 2023. We start the wave one, we call it surrogate model, and then we move to the wave two, generative design and optimization, and then we are currently in 2026, we are in the agentic workflows. But what is each of this wave means that? In the wave one, surrogate model, what we done, we create lots of simulation, lots of data, lots of analysis, and we try to fit the neural network, and we try to train the neural network with all of those data. So after we train it enough with lots of massive data, after that, instead of the AI tool, instead of run the simulation and solve the Maxwell equation, we just ask for the new design query and give us quickly the result. The result is not going to solve all the simulation true. It just predicts the result based on the data that has. So this is massive improvement regarding to the time saving. But that wasn't enough, because this has, I mean, I'm talking about the positive part of it, which it saves us lots of time. It gives us opportunity to explore other design. It gives us the opportunity to optimize our design, and also give us more accuracy. But that wasn't enough, because still this one has the limitation. Everything that give us the result, it's based on the data that we trained it. So if we are going outside those data, probably the result is not going to be that accurate. And also, it needs lots of resources to run lots of simulation and create lots of data, which is really expensive. And also, it can predict the results, but it can't say that, okay, what is wrong here and what is the next step and what we can do. Still, we need the engineer to plot the, for example, graph, judgment about the graph, and is not going to be that interactive with the engineering. So the next wave, we start to train again the AI tools that can be designed by itself. We give a different kind of data and we try to train it with the different data to can design by itself. And that was also successful, also give us sometimes a speed and accuracy, but still there are lots of things is missing. Still we need the engineer to set up the simulation. Still we need the engineer to interpolate. Still we need to decide about what is going to be next. So the bottleneck has moved but is not gone away. Here where we are now, and this is the exciting part that as I said, you are the first people seeing these slides, that we generate a kind of natural layer with the MCP layer that is interact with the engineer, and you can chat with that and ask about, for example, I want to design the antenna in X band, for example. Okay, it's create a geometry for you, design it, run the simulation, and give you the result. And we'll tell you that, okay, this is the S parameter. And I said, okay, why this parameter, for example, has this resonance frequency, how I can improve it, and it gives me the result. So it's still work with the RF simulation, but this is a one layer that we cover that can talk with the simulation tool. Yeah, this is the kind of things that you can see. This is a chat box that you can talk with the tool and then connect to the tool, give the result, and discuss with you about the outcome of the result. So, as I said, this is going to be, I believe, is going to be help lots of engineer. We done this one for the different physics, so we have it for the mechanical, we have for the fluid, we have for the optic, but just recently we managed to complete it for high frequency as well. So this is much more than just automation. Automation, it was really good a step, but this is much more than that. This is a natural talking with the AI tool, intelligent workflow, deeper insight, and also built for expert and access to the all. So if of course, I think in the morning someone mentioned that a great work is not happen with one person. Of course, I'm not the only person doing this. There's a big team behind this in EDRMEDESO, very smart people, and I write down their names and their email address. If you're interested to talk about this tool, I'm sure that they're more than happy to talk with you. Thank you very much.